Hi everyone, my name's Cathy. Welcome to Skint Living UK. With the world being a bit mad at the moment and all kinds of stuff happening, wars, people feeling uneasy about the future, prices are constantly going up, bills are constantly going up. I think if you haven't been frugal now, I think you need to start doing it. So I thought I'd do my top 10 tips and how to be frugality, because I think it's a necessity now rather than an option, a choice. Now it's like, yeah, you have to do it. So I'm going to put my glasses on because I've made some notes. If I keep looking off to the side, I apologise, because I've got my notes here on the side and I want to make sure I cover everything that I've written down. So I'm hoping even if you just find one thing that's useful, at least it's been of some help to you. I know there'll probably be a lot of repetition, you've heard it all before, but I'm just hoping you can glean one little thing out that you might find of use. Okay, so number one, have you got a credit card? You're struggling to pay it, or just sick of paying it, which is probably a case of both. I suggest you contact the credit card company and say to them you want a pause. They usually give you a pause for about 8 weeks. If you ask them, they will give you one for 12 weeks. They are legally obliged to do this, and you can get a pause twice a year. This will give you some wiggle room, maybe to pay some more pressing debts, some, like if you've got council tax, local tax, or your gas and electricity bill, or there's just some other bill your car needs fixing. If you've got another bill that's more urgent, get the credit card paused. What's good about it is you can't spend any more money while it's on pause, so your balance is not building up again. But the best thing is there's no interest. The interest stays where it is while it's paused, because it is literally paused, so there's no more added interest. So it's great either to pay the card off or to pay other bills. If you've gone over your balance, go and seek financial advice and see if you can still get the pause put on it, because generally I think they will, because they'd rather you pay it and then not pay it. Number two, did you know that housing's obviously the biggest cost that anyone has, but the second biggest cost is people's car, because they're paying for it each month. The insurance is through the roof. If you've got to replace something like tyres, it costs an absolute fortune. There's the running costs, and then there's little things like changing the oil, getting the inside cleaned, getting the outside cleaned. It's just never ending, and it's not an asset, it's a liability. So if you possibly can, downsize your car, and then all those bills will reduce, especially the insurance, because if it's a lot smaller car, the insurance and obviously what you're paying each month is going to be a lot less. And if you possibly can, get rid of it for a space of time, just a little bit, so you've got more time to pay off other bills. Maybe you're falling in arrears with your rent, or behind on your council tax, just stuff like that. It just gives you a little bit of wriggle room. I know there's like lots of people who live in more secluded places and the bus services are rubbish and the train services are rubbish, or maybe your work's far away. I get that, but if you downsize your car, you can still get there, can't you? Right, number three, let's talk about money. You need to have a little bit of stash of money in your house, even if it's £10, £20, dollars, euros, whatever currency you're using. Because if the ATMs go down, or there's a problem with banks, or there's been an energy problem and the energy's been cut off, so the tills are not going to be working, the shop tills aren't going to be working, you need to have a little stash of cash, not millions, just a little pot of money, so if push comes to shove, you've got that money there. And talking of money, just have some extra money in your purse, so if you're out and about and you see a fabulous bargain, or there's a big raft of reduced items, you can afford to get it because you've got that little extra pot of money in your purse. I call that my purse emergency fund, because it's there. Another thing about money, if you've got grown-up children with you and they're not paying you anything, now's the time to have the conversation with them and say, look, times are tough, you need to start paying. If you're in the UK, for example, and you live on your own, you get 25% reduction on your council tax. But if an adult child is living with you, that goes. So get them to at least pay that 25% on the council tax. If they are paying you something, you need to say to them, look, you need to be paying me a bit more because everything's gone up and I just can't keep doing it. Because you're not Santa. I know it's hard, you're not being a bad parent, but that's the reality of being an adult, and it will help them for when they do move out because they'll be used to paying bills. Maybe make them accountable for a particular bill. Say it right, okay, give me X amount, but as well, to make up for it, they pay the water bill, for example, or they pay the internet bill. Something like that, so they're responsible for that. To give them some practice of being an adulting as they call it these days. Number 4, if you can possibly grow some herbs and veggies, fruits, whatever, you can. Even if you're in a flat, you could grow some herbs on your windowsill, maybe put some hanging pots in, maybe in your bedroom window, have some lovely herbs, something fragrant growing, a bit of basil, a bit of parsley, a bit of coriander, something like that. Maybe little veggies like spring onions, chives, beetroot, radish. If you had a really big windowsill, maybe in your living room, a few lettuces. So it doesn't, even if you've got a flat, you could still do that. I've got a backyard, it's all paved. Everything I've got is containers. I've grown potatoes every year. I've grown strawberries every year. So there are things that you can grow that don't take up much room. And it'll make a little bit of difference to your food budget. I've got goldfish, so my goldfish, the water from the goldfish feeds the plants. So I don't buy plant food, I use the water off the goldfish to give my plants nutrients. As well, if your food's a bit bland because you broke, if you've got some fresh coriander or fresh basil, it makes such a difference to the flavour, and you've grown it yourself, so it's not cost you nothing. Or you can buy plants like, say, parsley in the supermarket and split it up, so one bunch of parsley will become, say, 5 plants. So you know, you can, there's ways and means of doing these things. Number 5, get rid of non-essential bills. Do you really need to be having lots of streaming services, Sky, Netflix, Virgin Media? Do you need all of them? Maybe cut it down to 1 so you get used to not having it. If you're not watching live TV, get rid of your TV licence. You don't need it. Do you need a subscription box being delivered every month? Do you need a veg box being delivered every week? Do you need Amazon Prime? The average person over the year spends 40% more than they would ordinarily, and Amazon's not always the cheapest place. If I'm going to buy something, which takes me ages to do, I check out the price on Amazon, and I can guarantee you about 7-8 times out of 10 it's cheaper elsewhere. Amazon's not always cheapest. You might like the next day delivery, but you're not going to die if it's 2 or 3 days delivery, are you? If you're going to save, say, 10-20%, it's worth waiting an extra day or 2 for. So Amazon Prime, for example, is a great way of saving yourself some money because you're spending less, and you're not buying stuff you don't need. If you're feeling a bit fed up late at night, you buy some bit of rubbish to cheer yourself up. Do reverse meal planning. Buy your food first, get your cheapy offers, reductions, cut price stuff, whatever you can find, and then prepare your meals around that. Number 7, do a little bit of prepping, and I don't mean fill rafts and rafts of cupboards and shelves with food. When you go shopping, just buy an extra tin, jar or packet every time you go shopping, so you barely notice the extra cost. So you've got yourself a little stash there. Maybe keep it in a little separate cupboard or on a separate shelf and go, right, that's my separate little stash in case things go belly up. Get yourself out in nature. It's free to do. It'll improve your physical well-being and your mental well-being and your spiritual well-being. It's been proven that trees and plants give off chemicals that are good for you, that give you a positive mood. Bring the kids, bring a football, bring a butty, bring a bottle of water. Get the dog, walk the dog. The difference I've noticed over the last 4 years walking that dog every day, sometimes a couple of times a day, is phenomenal, because it just clears your head, because it gets you away from the news, it gets you away from your stress, your worries, your bills, people in the house doing your head in. Just get out, get in nature, and if you possibly can, grow some plants indoors. Spider plants I recommend, because they're dead easy to propagate, because they have the little babies. Stick them in a little pot of water in the window, and there you go, you've got more plants for free. Because it improves your mental well-being, because you can see them and they have an effect on the air. It cleans the air, so you'll feel better as well. Number 9, if you're struggling to pay bills, don't let all the letters pile up. I've been there and done that with that, where you've got all the letters, the big stack of letters that you've not opened, because you know it's just people on your case to pay the bills. Get yourself to Step Change or Citizens Advice. There's loads of organisations out there. On the Age UK website, there's loads of really good advice, and it's not just for people who are older, the Age UK site, because they've got like benefit calculators and stuff like that, and links to other places. Get yourself some help, support and advice. Even the fact that you've spoken to someone, honestly, you'll sleep better at night, because you know you're getting it sorted. They can get a payment plan in place. When I went to Citizens Advice years ago, they spoke to all my creditors, so I didn't have to do it, because I didn't want to do it. And they arranged how much I would be paying them each month, a lot less than I was paying, so I could get rid of the debt, but at an affordable rate, so that we weren't sitting there eating grass in the park. Because we could afford to shop, because we'd had it sorted. There's always help out there. Debt payment plan. Step Change do the same. They have a debt payment plan thing as well. The Citizens Advice are great, because they also have access to solicitors, legal advice as well, if you need that as well. And number 10, and I know everyone says this, you need an emergency fund. Do you know why everyone says it? Because that's what you need. You need that buffer there, because I can guarantee you now, without even looking, I haven't got a crystal ball, I haven't got tarot cards, I've not been reading tea leaves. Something's going to go wrong. Something's going to be needed to pay for. It could be a burst pipe. You need tyres for the car. The dog's not well. You need to get a workman in to fix something. There's always something that's going to happen, yeah? So you need to always have an emergency fund. Even if you're only putting £1, $1 away a week, it's still £1, $1 more than you would have had before, yeah? And so if you've run out of something at the end of the month, you need to get some milk in, or some bread in, or some eggs in. The money's there, and you're not like going around having to scrounge off people, because it will change your relationship with people if you're always asking to borrow money, even if it is your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, cousin, auntie, uncle, neighbour, best friend. It will change the power dynamic, because mentally, even though they're not really thinking it or saying it, or they might be, it changes the power dynamic, because they think they've got something on you, above you. So it stops all that silliness, and you're feeling beholden to someone, because you've got your own money, and it keeps your own dignity. It will keep you. It gives an emergency fund, gives you dignity. I think that's the main thing it gives you, and I don't think anyone ever says that. It's all about dignity, because you haven't got to go cap in hand. You haven't got to give someone a big fanciful story why you need the money. You haven't got to justify yourself to anybody, because you've got that money there. And that's what's good about having a little bit of money in the house. Only a little bit. You don't need loads. And that way you're not relying on other people who could potentially be either unreliable or a pain in the bum, because they're on your case all the time to pay them back. So it keeps your dignity, as well as keeping you fed. So there you go. I hope that's of some help. Sorry, it's been a long one, but these are trying times, and I just try to cover as much as I possibly could in a few minutes. So if you found anything you like, or you think might be useful, I'm just relieved. I'm glad I could be of help. Please like, share and subscribe if you could be so kind, and look after yourself. Bye for now.